guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an apartment tour to see what €1,500 a month gets you in northern Italy. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down the bottom and the bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I'm going to be talking all about what it's like to be living as an American in Italy. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start right here where you walk in, which is my office. I work from home, just like many of you do these days, and I knew that I was going to need a dedicated workspace and that working from a kitchen table was not going to work for me. This area works really well for me. It's sort of its nice own area for me to have to work, and it means that I can shut my laptop at the end of the day and go and do something else in the rest of the apartment without looking at my work all day long. The building that the apartment is in used to be a B&B before COVID, so it was already pre-decorated, there was already furniture in here, and so the thought was that I could just move in and bring my personal touches. But it was really set up for someone who was only going to be here a few days, didn't have to work, didn't plan on sitting on the couch and kind of relaxing a lot because you want to be out and doing things when you're traveling. So I had to make some changes to really make it my own. This door actually goes out to my own private balcony. I never sit out there. It gets really warm here, and so sitting in the sun and working is just not something that I'm interested in doing, but it's nice to have the option. The person who owns the house actually plants some nice flowers out there, and she takes care of them, so it's nice to look at and nice to have, but I don't ever go out there. Next, we move into the living room. When I first moved in, there was a very large dining table here and a wooden sofa that was not very comfortable. So I asked the landlord if we could move out some of that furniture and I could actually go and buy my own to make it a little more comfortable and a little bit more like my own space. It was not really my style, or it wasn't really super comfortable, so I actually went and got some things at IKEA. This couch I bought at IKEA, and this coffee table I bought at IKEA. The pillows actually came with the apartment. They were on the old couch. Easy enough to repurpose. They were cute enough. Lace isn't really my thing, but here we are. I usually sit here in the evenings with my laptop to watch movies, and it works perfectly. What I really want to show you are these windows. I've never seen anything like it in the United States, and all of the houses in northern Italy seem to be designed in a similar way when it comes to shutters. So I wanted to show you kind of how it works and what it looks like. So I have two parts that open on the inside, and then outside I actually have two shutters. And so at night I close the shutters because I like to sleep in, and it gets very bright here very early, and it actually does a really great job at locking out all of the light. See, look at how bright my softbox is now compared to the dark window. You can also feel the heat that's coming in through here. The other cool thing that I've heard that actually not a lot of Italian windows have is the screen. So I actually have a screen up here that I can pull down to close. So if I wanted to leave the window open but not have the bugs come in, I actually have a screen that I can close. And I guess a lot of Italian windows don't have that. I'm guessing it's because this was a B&B that they added it for the tourists, but it's a really nice feature. It's nice to be able to sit here and get a cross breeze through the whole house. So I thought that was pretty cool. Apparently the Italians were horrified that I got rid of the table, thinking that I wasn't going to have a table, and how can you not have a table, because you know how important food is in the Italian culture. So they all thought that I was just getting rid of the table and I wasn't going to have one, but that's not true. I did buy a table. It was actually one of the first things I got. I got the smaller table to fit here in this space where there used to be a little bench, because it's just me, so I don't need a table that seats 6 people. And I like it. It's perfect size for me. I can sit here and eat my meals and maybe watch my iPad. It is a little bit dark in this corner, so I bought this little battery operated lamp that I can turn on when I sit here and eat my meals. In case I ever do have people over to eat, there are some extra chairs in the guest room, there's an extra stool over in the living room, so I'm ready to host my big dinner parties. Above the table is this bookshelf. All of these books actually came with the house. I haven't taken any of them out. Most of them are in Italian, so I have not read any of them, but it's a nice little feature. I keep thinking about putting my own books in there, haven't quite gotten around to it. I do have some decorative items up here that are mine. This glass slipper I inherited from my great aunt, so it has a lot of sentimental value to me. And my little TARDIS that I actually made. It was one of my first ceramic projects, and it's really terrible, but it had, again, sentimental value because I made it, so I made sure to bring it with me. Above the shelf, you see the air conditioning unit, and apparently it's very rare in Italy, especially northern Italy, to find units with air conditioning in it. So my service provider in Italy was very excited to find me an apartment with air conditioning. The only problem is it's out here, not in the bedroom, so I have a very complicated series of fans set up to blow the air from here into the bedroom. All right, moving into the kitchen, or la cucina in Italian. I don't know many words in Italian, but I do know that one. This is a fairly decently sized kitchen for Italy. I thought it was small, but apparently my Italian friend says it's pretty normal sized for an Italian kitchen. However large it is, it's still lacking in storage. So I have one drawer that has my silverware in it, and I have one cabinet below that has my pots and pans in it and a couple of extra serving dishes, you know, for that big party that I'm going to throw in my giant apartment. And then above, it has one cabinet. Right now I have all my spices and everything in there. Of course, my olive oil, because I'm in Italy, so how can you not have olive oil? And my tea things, and then some extra glasses that the owner actually gave me. Like I said, this was a fully furnished apartment, so they left glasses, they left dishes, they left the silverware, but it just wasn't mine. It wasn't really me, so I have been slowly adding things that are mine, that do feel like me, and some of the things that I shipped to make it feel more like my apartment and my space. I also have a fairly decently sized fridge. I know a lot of the fridges in the kitchens are actually counter height, so it's nice that I actually have a fridge and freezer. My freezer is very tiny, so it's very full right now. Some cornettos, some ice, because I like ice in my drinks when I work out. And my fridge down here is pretty decently sized. It's actually not very full right now, which is nice. It is a little vertically challenged, so it's hard to have space for tall things. So tall things go on the door, which also means that sometimes they fall out. So it's a balancing act. I do have one more upper cabinet. It's a little bit hard to reach, and for the first probably month that I lived here, I kept thinking that I was supposed to lift it open, and so every time I opened it, I would open it the wrong way, because it doesn't look like you would lift it open. But no, it opens to the side. And so because it has some nice tall space in it, it has my cereal and an extra shelf, and my baking powder and baking soda for some reason. I don't know, it should really be with the baking stuff, but that's where it ended up. But Lauren, I can hear you saying, you said you only had one cabinet, but look at all those other cabinets at the other end of the kitchen. Au contraire, my friend. While I do have other cabinets at the other end of the kitchen, they have very specific purposes. For example, underneath the sink are the two trash cans. One side is for composting trash and one side is for trash that you actually throw away. Italy is very serious about their recycling efforts, so you have to make sure that you're separating out your trash, your recyclables, and your organic stuff to make sure that you actually don't get fined, because you can actually get fined for putting things in the trash that should be recycled. Knock on wood, haven't gotten fined yet, but could always happen. And then the cabinet up here is actually designed for drying dishes. Now, I don't know that you're supposed to store the dishes up here long term, but I don't really have anywhere else to put them, so I both dry and store my dishes up here. It has this little open area so that the water will drip down as the items dry right into the sink area, so it works out perfectly. Because my kitchen doesn't have a lot of storage, I was looking for ways to add storage to the kitchen. I like to cook, I like to bake, so I need some things to be able to do that. So I found this kitchen island on Amazon. It's on wheels, which is really great because I can't open the window while this is in front of it, but I can wheel it out if I need to, or if we need to clean or whatever. So it's a really great addition. It really helps with the lack of counter space in the kitchen. And then it has this nice drawer, so I have some of my extra kitchen utensils in here, like my pineapple slicer, my whisks, my meat thermometer, my measuring cups and spoons, and then my Ziploc bags and my aluminum foil are also in here. And then underneath it gives me some good storage for my blender, my toaster, some plastic containers that I have, some just various things that needed a home. So this was a great purchase, highly recommend it. The last part of the kitchen to talk about is this storage cabinet that I also added. This is actually where most of my food is stored. I have these little containers that I bought also from IKEA. The other important thing here is that it gives me, again, more counter space. Usually my toaster is sitting here, or my blender, or the fan, or something. I cleared it off for you guys. Power outlets are really difficult to come by. You'll have a lot of different things that are vying for very few outlets. Having, a couple of these around the apartment really make a big difference. As they say on Cribs, welcome to where the magic happens. This is my bedroom. This is a 2-bedroom apartment. I could have chosen either one, but I liked this one because it was a little bit brighter, a little bit bigger. It has some nice windows looking out over the front yard and a nice big bed. This is what they called matrimonial size. It's fairly big. It's probably similar to a king size bed. I'll put the dimensions up here so that you guys kind of have an idea. The mattress on this bed was so hard. I woke up with back pain the first 3 nights I was here. I was able to order a mattress topper from Amazon, a gel mattress topper, and it has made a world of difference. It was so uncomfortable. It's fine now, so let's move on. All of this furniture was already here when I moved in. The one thing that I did buy is this clothing rack. They do have clothing storage in the dresser, but the only hanging storage available was actually in the guest room. I had to go in there every morning to like find clothes and things, and it just wasn't working for me. I think it was like maybe 20 euro. And it just makes it so much easier to actually get ready in the morning, and it doesn't bother me to have everything out so that you can see it. None of this is my style. I would not choose any of this furniture if I were actually furnishing this place. For staying here for now, it's fine. It's not bad. It is what it is. Over here we have my jewelry box. It has all of my necklaces and earrings and things in it. I packed it all in these little dime bag plastic baggies so that they wouldn't get tangled or ruined. I'm slowly unpacking things as I use them. On the other side of the dresser, I have some handmade dishes that I actually made in my pottery studio that I had. It's a pretty small laundry basket because it's a pretty small washing machine. I know about half that basket full is pretty much a full load of laundry. On the other side of the room, I have this bench that came with the apartment. It's incredibly uncomfortable to sit on. I don't recommend it, but it does have storage underneath, so I store extra bags and things like that in there, so it's nice to have. This is Stanley. He is my teddy bear. I actually got him at the Vermont Teddy Bear Company when I was probably 12 or 13. Like, I wasn't really young. He gets to travel the world with me and hang out in Italy with me. I am super extra, and I actually brought my own pillow because I like those foam hard pillows nowadays. So I was able to compress the pillow down and put it in my suitcase and bring it with me. And then on either side of the bed, I have 2 nightstands. They're a little bit small since I have to use a CPAP machine at night. So my storage is a little bit limited, but what's really cool about this is that there are switches next to the bed for the lights. So I don't have to turn the lights off and then walk back to my bed in the dark. I can turn the lights off right from laying in bed. It was mind-opening when I saw them the first time, and I've been taking full advantage of them ever since. Welcome to my bathroom. Now, it's not the most exciting room in the house, but I know that some people want to see what a European Italian bathroom looks like. This is it. It's not too big and not too small. There's room for a washing machine in the corner over there, small shower, a bidet, and a toilet. And a sink, of course. The only real downside to this bathroom is the size of the shower. I appreciate that they had small space to work with. I know that it has to be this size because this is what they had. However, it is nearly impossible to shave your legs in this shower. Leg on the wall, I can kind of do that, I can around, or I could step out, I guess. It's just really difficult. What I end up doing is actually bending over to shave my legs, which is not the most fun experience, and all the blood is rushing to your head and the water is dripping down. That's my only real complaint about this bathroom in general. I bet this wasn't the shower content you thought you were getting. Fully clothed, standing in the shower. The last room we're going to talk about is the second bedroom, or the storage room. There's not really much to say about this room except all the furniture came with it, so it was already very crowded. It really just stores all the stuff I have that I don't really have anywhere else to put. I don't know why I paid to ship it all over here, but I did. There is a wardrobe in here where I put my sweaters, my winter coats, things that I don't need now that it's 80 degrees outside. My suitcases, my extra boxes for when I'm sure I have to move again. All of the extra kitchenware that I don't have anywhere to put, my mixer that I still haven't converted over to EU power. If I ever have guests, I do have a guest room that they can sleep in. They'd have to sleep on top of all the extra junk in here. My original plan when I was looking for a 2-bedroom apartment was to make this an office, but once I saw all the furniture in here, I knew that wasn't really going to be feasible, so it's just kind of become a catch-all room. Let's talk quickly about budget. So my apartment is 1,500 euro a month, and that includes utilities and rent. And then I pay an extra 50 euro a month for weekly cleaning. That seems to be pretty well in line with what I've heard and seen in this area. An important thing to note is because I'm here for getting my citizenship, I need a very specific type of residency contract. I also only need tenancy for 12 months, which is very unusual in Italy. Usually an apartment lease is for at least 4 years, and then you have the option to add on another 4 years. The fact that I needed a short-term lease by Italian standards, and the fact that I needed a very specific type of tenancy agreement for my application for citizenship means that I'm paying a little bit more than you probably would see in a normal apartment. It's also fully furnished, which makes a difference in the price. So for me, 1,500 euros is a little bit more than I was expecting to spend. Once I get my residency and my citizenship and that's all done, I'll probably give them the 30 days notice and try to find somewhere a little bit less expensive to live. I hope you enjoyed this tour of my apartment in northern Italy. Make sure you're subscribed. Ciao! It's a really small laundry machine. Laundry machine? I really rambled on that one. It's still wet. I showered like an hour ago. I thought it would be dry. It's not dry. It's making squishy noises.